You remember the day clearly. You can see the light in the room, feel the texture of the moment, hear what someone said to you. It is yours. It happened. Except there is a real chance that some of what you are seeing right now, in that memory, was never there at all. Your brain built it. And the terrifying part is that you cannot tell the difference. This is not a rare condition. This is not something that happens to other people. This is your brain doing what it does every single time you remember anything. Here is why that should stop you cold. You make decisions every single day based on what you remember. You remember how someone treated you, and you act on that. You remember what you said in an argument, and you defend it. You remember your own past and use it to understand who you are. If any of that is built on a false foundation, it is not just an interesting quirk. It is a crack running through everything. So here's the question this whole video is going to answer. If memory feels so real, so vivid, so utterly certain, how do we know it lies? And what exactly is it doing instead? The first thing you need to let go of is the idea that your memory works like a video camera. It does not record and play back. It reconstructs. Every single time you remember something, your brain is rebuilding it from scattered pieces, filling in the gaps, and saving the rebuilt version back over the original. You are not watching a recording. You are watching a renovation. The person who proved this most brutally, with real experiments on real people, was a psychologist named Elizabeth Loftus. In 1974, Loftus and her colleague John Palmer ran a study at the University of Washington. They showed participants a film of a car accident, then asked them questions about it afterward. One group was asked how fast the cars were going when they smashed into each other. Another group was asked the same question, but with the word hit instead of smashed. That is the only difference. One word. The smashed group remembered the cars going significantly faster. And when brought back a week later, they were also far more likely to remember broken glass at the scene. There was no broken glass. The film never showed any. One word, dropped into a question after the fact, had planted a physical detail that never existed. Loftus called this the misinformation effect, and it changed how we understand memory forever. But keep that in mind because it gets stranger. Loftus did not stop at car accidents. In later work, she and her colleagues showed that you can implant an entire memory of an event that never happened. In studies published through the 1990s, her team convinced a meaningful portion of participants that they had been lost in a shopping mall as a child, a panicked, emotional, vivid experience that had simply never occurred. Not a detail. An entire episode of their lives. Made up. Believed completely. About 1 in 4 people in those studies not only accepted the false memory, but elaborated on it, adding new details of their own. Their brain had taken the suggestion, built a scene around it, and filed it under real. This is what researchers call confabulation. The brain notices a gap and fills it, not with a label that says unknown, but with something plausible, something that fits, something that feels like a memory. And then it presents that to you with full confidence. You do not experience it as a guess. You experience it as a fact you already knew. Now here is the turn that changes the shape of all of this. Because up to now this sounds like a flaw, a bug in the system, something evolution should have fixed. But it is not a bug. It is the entire design. Your brain does not store memories like files in a drawer, because that would be catastrophically inefficient. Instead, it stores patterns, fragments, emotional tags, and the rules for reconstructing scenes. It is more like a recipe than a photograph. And that system is what allows your brain to do something far more important than replay the past accurately. It allows you to imagine the future. Simulating what might happen next, planning, predicting, rehearsing, all of that uses the same reconstructive machinery as remembering. Memory and imagination are not opposites. They are the same system running in different directions. So, the reason your brain fills in gaps, and sometimes gets things wrong, is that a brain that could only record exact replays would be useless for survival. You needed a brain that could generalize, predict, and adapt. You got one. The cost is that sometimes it builds a memory out of suggestion, mood, and expectation rather than fact. The confidence you feel is real. The content is not always. What do you do with that? You cannot fact-check every memory, but you can hold your most certain ones a little more loosely, especially the ones that justify something, especially the ones that put you in a flattering light, especially the ones you have told out loud many times, because every retelling is another reconstruction, another chance for the renovation crew to quietly change something. The memories you have repeated most are the ones most altered from the original. Your past is not a fixed thing you carry. It is a living document your brain is still editing. And now that you know that, you will never remember quite the same way again. If that made something click for you, hit like and subscribe. This channel is built for exactly these moments, the ones where understanding yourself changes how you move through the world.